Good day, gentle viewers. In today's news, a currently airing anime series sees its manga end. Anime Expo gets a special showing, Suzume is doing well at the box office, and a Canadian company partners with a Japanese one to make anime. So without any further ado, I'm Tristan Glant, and welcome to Glass Reflection. Let's jam. First, a bit of melancholy news. The final chapter for the manga Galaxy Next Door is set to be released this Saturday, with an epilogue chapter scheduled to be released later on June 7th. Now, you might know this series since it is currently airing its anime adaptation, which is, right now, quite good if I'm being honest. If you are a fan of slower paced shows with a bit of the supernatural filling things out, you'll like it a lot. The manga for the series has been in print since its launched back in 2020, and while it hasn't been an extremely long-running series by most metrics, that seems to be the norm for this particular mangaka who I think currently has 15 different manga to his name, including a particular favorite of mine, Sweetness and Lightning, which also got an anime adaptation back in 2016, as some people might remember. If you don't remember it, then perhaps you've seen one particular popular clip of it floating around the internet. I said that this news was a bit melancholic because, well, it's always sad to see a series end, especially if it happened to one that you happen to be enjoying at that particular moment. Though on the other hand, I suppose that I do prefer shows that actually end rather than ones that just go on forever. This could be a good thing for the anime as well, the one that's currently airing, because now we don't have to worry as much about them trying to find a half-decent place to end the adaptation. Instead, the producers just need to decide, if they're going to, at this point, give another season a shot. Because like the manga at present will have 5 volumes unless something else happens. So it's certainly possible to go beyond a single core of 12 episodes like I think we are currently planned to get, but that'll be up to the production staff. Either way, I hope that the mangaka feels satisfied with the ending that they have come up with, and I am looking forward to seeing whatever it is that they end up coming up with next. Moving on, let's talk about Fate. The TV anime special for Fate Strange Fake is set to receive a North American premiere ahead of its Japanese TV airing. According to Anime Expo, the special is set to receive a showing at their event on July 1st, just a single day before its originally planned Japanese release. Now, I'm not going to attempt in this short video to explain the massive intricacies of Fate adaptations and the universe they're in. However, we should still give a brief explanation about Strange Fake. Strange Fake is a very popular spin-off series within the Fate universe that is not directly related to any other Fate property, like a lot of spin-offs. Similar to Fate Apocrypha, if you've ever watched or read that one, it is not a sequel to any previous Fate work, but it does follow a lot of the same universal guidelines about there being interesting battle royale style fights between famous historical figures or other such powerful beings. Strange Fake has been an interesting series throughout its run, to say the least, not only because of the servants that it has chosen to cover, but also from a meta perspective because it has been ongoing since 2015, but it doesn't have a solid release schedule, so new chapters kind of just come out whenever. But there's also been this weird semi-blacklist on any crossover media between it and other Fate things. What I mean by that is that we've never seen an anime adaptation despite how long it's been around. We haven't seen a film, or heck, we haven't even seen a crossover event in the hugely popular mobile game Fate Grand Order. Strange Fake has kind of been in its own little world, unlike some other Fate spin-offs that have branched out a bit, like the Lord El Molloy series or even Fate Requiem. This special, I believe, is just that, though. A special. It's not supposed to, I think, be a first episode in any kind of ongoing series covering the material. It's not supposed to be a film, which has made me a little curious as to what this special's purpose actually is. Either way, we will find out when it comes out. So even if it is just a large-scale bit of promotional material for the manga, I'm sure that it'll be a fascinating watch regardless, because Strange Fake has a bit of a history of being one of the more well-regarded Fate spin-offs, at least for those who have read it. Now, before I continue, I did want to give shout-outs to supporters of this channel over on Patreon, because yes, this video, this one right now, is not sponsored, and the more support that we get over there, at Patreon. The less sponsors the Glass Reflection will need at any given time, so an immense thank you, especially to patrons like Wago221, Deluxe Flame, City Yamako, Ryvan Bonaparte, Ross Emerson, Omar Showman, Ahagao Comics, and Hector Montemayor. We can't continue this without your support, so however much you are able to help, I am eternally grateful. Makoto Shinkai's latest film, Suzume, has officially grossed over $10 million at the US box office. It reached this number in less than 3 weeks, and also with a less than wide release compared to a lot of the Western competition it has at the box office. I mean, like, it's already out of all of the major theaters near me here in Canada. I only got to see it recently because a local small-time theater that has a single screen decided to showcase it. But even still, it is done surprisingly well given these restrictions. In Japan, Suzume sold more tickets and made more money in its first 3 days than any other Shinkai film during the same period. It's holding its position as the highest-selling Japanese anime in China of all time. More tickets for it has been sold in South Korea than any other Japanese film, but I will say that its North American performance and advertising has been less than stellar, I feel, compared to other films. I'm not sure if that's just because the current film division of Crunchyroll, formerly Funimation's film division, are still trying to find their feet, or if priorities have changed. Suzume has been one of the harder anime films, at least for me, to attend here in Canada, because like if I wanted to go and watch a showing today from one of the major theaters, I would need to travel several hours by car, when I'm only about 20 minutes away from where I ended up watching Your Name and Promare when those came out. Which is a shame, because Suzume is a good film. It has like some of the best music from any Shinkai film thus far as well, and I'm not just saying that because, you know, they sniped the insert song from Kiki's Delivery Service as well as the ED song from His and Her Circumstances. No, it legitimately has good music on top of all of that. Time will tell how history views the film overall, though, compared to the rest of Shinkai's library, but at least from the normal metrics that Westerners use to judge films, the box office, it is doing quite well. Some local Canadian news that I wanted to put a quick spotlight on. Canadian production company Nelvana has partnered with Japanese studio Polygon Pictures for some upcoming unannounced projects. They have specifically partnered in order to develop anime series specifically for children as an audience, according to their press release. The wording, though, of this is a little confusing to me personally, but it seems to indicate that the two companies are planning to make anime together from scratch, and that's the confusing bit, because I don't doubt that Polygon can do this on their own, because, you know, they have multiple times. Last season even, we saw the series kinda of the Great Snow Sea, which was one of the shows that they produced, you know, even if not everybody happens to like the 3D animated style that they tend to prefer. But Nelvana as a company has been, well, mostly just a licensor of content rather than, you know, a full-on producer. Or maybe that's not correct either, because they are like listed as producers on virtually every Beyblade series, as well as like the Cardcaptor Sakura movie and such. But I don't know how much I trust those particular credits, because I can't tell if that's explicitly them being producers for the original Japanese material, or if they just got a producer credit for being, you know, the producers of the English versions for those pieces of media. Also, it's been a super long time since any of those shows came out. Like, to my knowledge, this company hasn't been involved with any anime adaptation since like 2010. So I am questioning why they would choose to partner with Polygon, or rather why Polygon thought that Nelvana was so special. Sure, I have some Canadian pride, considering the company is also from my country of origin, and a bit of nostalgia for them since, you know, I watched like a lot of things that they worked on over the years, Metabots being a particular highlight. But still, this arrangement seems kind of out of left field, and I'm not sure where it's going. Also, Polygon hasn't really made anime for a younger audience before, like ever. If you check out like Aijin or Knights of Sidonia, or even the most recent work, it's not necessarily been all that family friendly, or at least kid friendly or kid focused. So all of this has just been super confusing, but we'll have to see what comes of it. Probably won't see anything around this surfacing again for at least another year, depending on how long it takes to produce what they plan to. Possibly even longer if Polygon has other shows in the works that need to come out first. I am not optimistic as to what this partnership holds, but, you know, We'll see. And that's it for our show today. So subscribe if you haven't, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, whenever that may be, watch more anime and stay frosty.